Not during spoiler season. Round 2.
Well, Crucible Worlds never thought I'd see a reprint on that card. They did it once. No reason to make us the 3rd copy.
Yeah.
Or 4th copy even. There's a Masterpiece Crucible.
Now you know.
Yeah. Now I know I don't trade cards anymore.
Forbro also pitching in. He also played at the Ward Store.
He bought at the Ward
Store. Or bought cards,
played
yes.
there.
Never ended up playing.
He was a little kid.
That was the same boat I was into. I bought a few cards, but did not come for the F&O. Oh, Paul beating that.
Paul dropping an 11.
11's a big roll.
Yep.
All right, Tony on Mono Black Zombies. Paul on Esper Control, which you played last night to a win.
He did. Now he has made some changes.
Gerard checking the dice, making sure they're not loaded.
Yeah.
You're saying he made some changes?
He did. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were talking about him beforehand. I like where Paul went with it.
So he won the tournament and then he made changes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you find out if you see a weakness in your deck, just because you win doesn't mean it's not a weakness.
I disagree.
Fair.
If it worked once, I'm gonna run it again.
Fair enough.
I was playing old school last night with Jake. My deck gave me way too many lands, so sideboarding, I sideboarded out an island.
And then
my deck responded by not giving me any islands at all for 2 straight hands.
All right.
So I don't mess with it. If it works,
leave it alone.
The problem was it wasn't working. That's why I took it out. And it still didn't work for me. My deck hates me. But that's another story.
Your deck is tired of the shenanigans.
It doesn't get to shenanigan much anymore. You guys have gotten very good at building your 93, 94 decks here. So
my deck is a pile of kobolds.
It works.
It's fun.
It's kobolds wrapped around a combo.
It's kobolds wrapped around a Shivon dragon because Alex... Because Alex turned 2 Sarah Angels against me, and I was tired of that shenanigans.
Yeah.
Not having an answer to a Sarah Angel in old school is a problem.
It is a problem. Singer vampires and Sarahs just everywhere.
That's why I ran Shivon Dragon. It's bigger than both of them.
Yep. All right, so looking at Paul's hand, we got 4 lands, 3 spells.
It's exactly where you want to be with control.
Yep. You need to hit your land drop.
Personally, I prefer the 5/2. 5 lands.
5 lands?
Yes. It's my favorite control hand.
Well, one of those lands was Ascanta, Search for Ascanta, which is a double.
Yeah.
It turns into a land.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind keeping that. 4 lands and a search is pretty good too.
Yeah. And I don't think 4 lands is very solid. Tony, unfortunately, having a mulligan. Mono Black Zombies losing a lot of stuff in the rotation.
Yes, I don't expect to see this around post-rotation.
But
I could be wrong, because I didn't expect to see Mono Black Zombies after Innistrad rotated.
Yeah. Yeah, Amonkhet was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
1 swamp, not a great one. 2 fatal pushes, but...
I think you still got to keep it. I mean, not knowing what Paul's on, though.
Yeah. The Torment of Hailfire at the back, that's just taunting him.
Yeah.
Here comes the search.
So now Tony should have a pretty good idea that those fatal pushes aren't going to be doing a whole lot this game.
See a search, you can expect Torrential Gear Hulks and not many other creatures.
Yeah.
Probably not expecting a Chromium if that's still in there.
I don't think anybody's going to be expecting the Chromium. It's like the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
This is true.
See, I get those references. Irrigated farmlands.
Yep.
So Paul has access to all 3 colors already. Turn 3.
He doesn't have access to white yet.
Turn 4, he'll have access to all 3 colors.
So there's a Dread Wanderer.
Comes in tapped.
Now I expect a fatal push here. Yeah, cast downwards too. Now Tony not able to bring that thing back yet because it does require to be nearly hellbent.
Thank you for pulling it up, Jake.
So putting the Teferi in the graveyard does a lot here. It reveals exactly what Paul's playing.
Yep.
And it also tells him that there's another Teferi in Paul's hand.
Metallic Mimic, naming zombies most likely.
I would go with the Jackals, man.
With the Dread Wanderer, you said it's nearly hellbent.
Yes. So,
I do believe the unofficial term for that is heckbent.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry.
Because you're not quite angry enough to say hell, but
Yeah.
you heck bent.
Yeah, heck bent is... I like it.
So we see an Essence Extraction take care of the Mimic
Yeah.
and booster Paul's life by 3. There's the Teferi from hand.
Yeah.
And this is where
Plus-
the game starts slipping.
So now it is moving heavily into Paul's favor.
Yep.
Um,
Untaps 2 lands that produce blue. So Tony, now knowing that he has to play through counters, brings back Dread Wanderer, which is something that cannot be countered.
he's not able to bring that back. He does have more than one card in his hand.
Ah.
So
Okay,
on the Lord of the
casting Lord of-
Accursed.
Okay.
It's a good card.
Zombies get +1/+1, and I believe Menace.
Yeah, he can activate it to give all his zombies menace.
Paul giving Tony a Teferi. That's very generous.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice gift from Paul.
Usually, a mono black player does not get access to that type of card.
It's true.
So Tony's saying, no, I don't want that. It doesn't fit my flavor. And just giving it right back.
Yeah.
Glacial Fortress.
Now, so Paul is in a good spot here. He has 6 mana. He's got that Azcanta trigger.
He's got Contempt at the front.
Yeah, we see a Vraska's Contempt. I'd assume that there's maybe a Gear Hulk in there somewhere.
I think he's going to take down the Lord.
I don't know if I want to spend a Contempt on it. It's just 2 damage at this point.
I think he's going to let him get back to Dread Wanderer and then take that out.
As long as Tony's not playing things, Dread Wanderer's never coming back.
So there's Contempt on the Lord.
Yeah. And Tony hasn't been playing stuff. He's dropping
he
a land
hasn't.
a turn. His hand's not getting any smaller.
So it looks like
Yeah.
going for a Torment, just getting it out of hand.
Yeah. Actually, it's not a bad spot to try to fire it off.
No. And
Paul's
that's
light
definitely
on
something
cards.
Paul's going to counter.
Yeah, he's light on cards, light on stuff on the board. So there was a potential there for it to hit something valuable.
Yep. Paul's got 2 Gear Hulks in hand, so.
Yeah.
So it almost got through, because that was the only counter spell Paul had.
Yeah. Throwing an Essence Scatter to the graveyard. That tells Anthony one of 2 things. Paul has another answer,
I believe I see 3 Gear Hulks.
or he's got a Gear Hulk. So Paul floating 2 mana just so he doesn't have to untap one or 2 of Tony's lands. That's a disallow. That's a very good card.
Disallow and 2 Gear Hulks.
I'm excited for the replacement for disallow.
Surveil seems pretty good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that mechanic.
Yeah, counterspell Surveil seems nice.
Liliana's?
No, that's counterable.
Is that Liliana's Mastery?
Yes, puts out 2/2 zombie tokens, and then
No,
it's
I
in
totally thought that card rotated.
No.
It's an Amonkhet, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Gear Hulk negate. So now Paul's got his threat on board. Oh, that was not Liliana's.
It was.
Yeah.
That was Liliana's Mastery.
I saw him flipping his mana around it.
So now Anthony in a real bad spot here. The 5 power on that Gear Hulk's going to close this game out real quick. And Paul doesn't have to worry about defense.
No, not at all. He's got 2 disallows, Glimmer, and he's just ramping up Teferi. Teferi can ultimate next turn.
Yeah. But a similar situation to last night, we're going to see there's no reason for Paul not to
Protect Teferi.
plus Teferi one more time, and then Emblem.
Yep. There's also very little reason for him to even worry about protecting Teferi. And
It's true. He's got
he's got Glimmer in hand.
Yeah.
That's exiled 2 permanents already.
Yeah, so
Essence Scatter to counter the Death Baron.
Paul just stopping Anthony from doing anything at this point.
That's an attack for 10 on this turn.
Yeah.
So I remember... Do you remember the card Dream Halls?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Came out in Stronghold,
Very,
which was
very
the
good
set
card.
after you joined. No, the set before you joined.
Yes, it was the set before.
Came out a long time ago. Basically says you can discard a card of a certain color to cast a spell of that color for free.
Yes, anybody can do this.
When that card came out, the representatives at Wizards of the Coast said, "This is too powerful. We realize that you should not be able to cast spells for free. It is too powerful in effect." 25 years later, almost,
Omniscience.
they are still
Yeah.
putting these things out.
Yeah, Omniscience was not a cool card. I mean, it's a cool card, but it's not a fair card.
So they like to acknowledge lessons learned
Well,
and then ignore them.
yeah. So they acknowledged it, and then not only did they print Omniscience, they reprinted it for the current standard.
They sure did. That was another one that you heavily traded for.
I did make a couple trades for Omniscience.
And then Gear Hulks is considerably better than Snapcaster, I think. Depending on the deck.
I like the Snapcaster.
Depending on the deck, but being able to cast the spell for free,
yeah,
huge upside.
Yes, but it does come with that 6 mana price tag.
6 mana price tag, but it also comes with that 5/6 versus a 2/1.
True. I do like a 5/6 over a 2/1.
If it had been a 2/1 cast for free for 6, still would have been a good card.
Yeah, I would like to see it maybe cost 5 at that point though.
Yeah.
Or make it a 1/2.
Something, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a card designer. I just like to.
Hulk, though.
I'm a Magic player, so I like to complain about Magic cards. It's what we do.
Me too. So we got a glimmer here from Paul.
We got some energy on the table.
Hitting the Liliana and the land.
Yep.
And those are exiled, not in the graveyard.
And we're going to have a lethal attack. I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah. So we're going to see another draw. Paul just removing any chance of Tony having an answer.
All the untapped lands gone. And
yeah.
That was pretty decisive.
Yes. Yeah.
Once Tony fell behind on land drops and creatures and casting stuff.
Yeah, Paul didn't miss a land drop.
No.
His sequencing was very good.
Worked out very well.
Yeah. Now, something similar that happened when him and I were playing yesterday. I wasn't able to interact with his planeswalkers at all. Anything that I drew that was able to, Paul already had an answer waiting in hand for it.
Yep. Yeah. It gets tough once the control deck gets in charge. Once they're doing their thing, it's very hard to get back in.
It's true. That's why I like to play control so much.
Because you like to take all the turns.
That's why I like to play turns. I like to play control because if I'm having fun, you're not. And Magic is a zero fun sum game.
See, the closest I've gotten to that type of deck, as far as I'm concerned, in my view, is my acid deck.
Yeah, that definitely was Andy gets to have fun and nobody else.
It's very fun for me.
Yes.
But I have to work to get there.
Yeah. Whereas in control, you just play some lands and draw some cards.
You just develop the board and you take over, naturally.
So, I expect to see those fatal pushes to come out.
On Tony's side?
On Tony's side.
Yeah, anything that doesn't kill a Gear Hulk, I'm taking out.
Yeah, and I would expect to see Contempts come in.
Yep. It doesn't have counter options.
Probably some number of Scavenger Grounds to make the Gear Hulks worse.
So last night after the tournament, Jake and I played a little, like I said, a little bit of old school Magic. I had my blue deck, he had his blue deck. And we actually had a Vidalian soldier that he played. I control Magic because all his creatures were 1/1s and 1/2s.
So yeah, in the world of 1/1s, a 1/2 is king.
A 1/2 is king, yep. So I took it. On his next turn, Jake took it back.
With a control Magic.
Yep, and then he attacked me with his other 1/1. And so on my next turn, I took it back with another control Magic. So that I could block his 1/1.
That's a 13 mana or a 14 mana investment on a 1/2 there. Buddy.
Yeah, and we had quite a stall going for a long time because I had that really heavily suited 1/2 creature. Do you know what the breaker was? What card broke that stalemate?
Psionic Blast.
Prodigal Sorcerer.
Okay. So you drew a Tim.
No, Jake drew the Tim.
Oh, okay.
And then I had clones in hand. I had a Sea Singer.
You could not.
I
Get
could have
traction.
stolen it, but I couldn't get the tempo.
Yeah. No traction.
Once Timmy could kill whatever I played.
Yeah, once that Tim gets to untap.
Yep.
Now, Sea Singer, very cool card.
I love it. It's
a good one.
Yep. From Fallen Empires originally.
Yeah.
Which just makes the cut for 93, 94.
I was going to ask, Alliances does not make the cut.
No.
Okay.
Fallen Empires is the newest set, which feels weird saying. That's the newest set that's legal in 93, 94.
Yeah. So I was looking today through some of my old school stuff, and I wanted to play Shield Sphere. But unfortunately, It's from Alliances.
That it is.
Now, Homelands block, that was Fallen Empires, Alliances, and Homelands, right?
Homelands was not part of a block.
It was its own.
They weren't fully in the block structure then.
Okay.
Stuff was coming out on its own. The first block
Was
officially, Homelands was part of a block. The first official block was, I don't even know if it was official, but Ice Age into Alliances.
Okay, Ice Age and Alliances.
Homelands was the next set, which they kind of said, it's...
Same world.
But then after Ice Age, they went to Mirage. And then we had Mirage, Visions,
and Weatherlight.
Weatherlight. That was the first official 3-set block.
Tempest, Stronghold, Exodus.
Yep.
And that started the coolest story ever.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's the reason I got into the game.
Well, that's good. Whatever it takes to get people in.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Weatherlight saga?
Yes. Gerard and his friends.
Yep. And now you come and play Magic at Other Realms with Gerard and his friends.
Yeah.
Life has come full circle.
Yeah, I got to make good friends with a guy named Gerard. It's my whole goal in life.
You even got to duel against Planeswalkers here.
I did.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, there are three Planeswalkers that I've seen mentioned in Magic cards that have never been made into a card.
Lord Windgrace was for a long time.
Was he a Planeswalker, though, in the beginning?
He was.
Okay. So the big ones, Commander Guth. Or Commodore, sorry, it's Commodore Guth.
Okay.
He's on Planeswalker's Mischief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy with the big mustache.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Then there's the guy on the white... No, I'm sorry. Planeswalker's Mirth is Commodore Guth. He's the one laughing.
All right.
Yeah. And then the guy on the blue one, he's wearing like a Admiral jacket. Can't remember his name. And then Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth was a Planeswalker.
Yeah. They'll get to him eventually.
I hope so.
Give him time.
Give him time. This cards came out in 2001, man.
Well, it takes a while. They need something to do on the 50th anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of the old Vanguard cards were characters' only appearance on a card form. There's a bunch of Vanguard cards that actually are like that.
Takara. Takara is a big one.
That was a 5-land hand for Tony.
Takara is actually one of the few Weatherlight characters that never got a card. Stark's daughter. I mean, even Meraxis of Keld got a card.
He did.
Vadi Ildal.
Sidar Jabari got a card.
Yeah. Jamura, Joriel got a card.
May I make a confession, Ben?
What's up?
Sidar Jabari was the only name I could think of for old characters.
Ah, okay.
So that's the only reason I said it.
Well,
you are way deeper on the lore than me.
Story-wise, he did interact with the Weatherlight crew.
Alright, so Tony Mulligan, a 5-land hand. He's got a 2-land hand, double Vraska's Attempt, Torment of Hailfire, again, just mocking him in the opening hand.
I think that's a fine hand, though. It gives him a threat Paul has to answer.
I'm not going to say fine hand, though. It's keepable.
Which is fine.
I'm not happy with it, though. I am not happy with it.
It's keepable against control. It's fine.
Vraska's Attempt important, but only important for a card that Paul can't play until after the 6th turn. Or no, it can do Planeswalkers too.
Yes, it hits the Teferi.
Yep, I do.
But by that point, Paul will have counter magic available.
Yeah, he'll be untapping 2 lands to be able to counter. Metallic Mimic, that's something that I would have wanted in my opening hand instead.
Yeah, so we got a Fatal Push there.
Okay, which means the Dread Wanderer is still on the board, though.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not seeing any white mana for Paul.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the changes we were talking about. He did remove colored sources to put in Field of Ruins.
Ah. So Dread Wanderer getting in some hits. Paul should be down to 16, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, these 1-mana 2/1 zombies that have been around in the last few blocks, very strong.
Yeah. It used to be a rare ability to be a 2/1.
Yes.
It used to make you a rare card.
Well, Dread Wanderer is a rare. So was Bloodstained Champion. Or Bloodsoaked Champion.
They don't feel that rare.
No,
I don't know.
They don't.
Savannah Lions
Savannah Lions is
used
a
to stand out.
crazy good card.
It
I was
was.
really stoked when it got reprinted in 8th edition. And then somebody played eggs against me and it ruined everything.
Jerks. Who plays that kind of deck?
Me, you, cool people.
People that enjoy winning.
Yeah. People that enjoy playing Magic when your opponent just gets to watch.
Yeah.
Ah, duress. Gonna have a huge impact as Paul has 3 of his 5 cards being lands.
Yeah, I don't see any counter spells either. So that's going to be good information.
Yeah. And you have Rastus Contempt. Use it or lose it.
So that's exile now.
Yeah, and so we got no chance of that Dread Wanderer coming back.
So seeing that Paul has only lands, that's very good information.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a correction on that Dread Wanderer being exiled.
Now, I don't know that Tony has a follow-up play.
Doesn't seem likely. He did run out 2 Mimics into removal and counter Magic already.
Yeah, and the Duress was the draw because you still got the 2 Contempts and the Torment.
So Paul picking up
a Glint Sleeve?
It did look like a Glint Sleeve.
Cycled into another land.
It is a Glint Sleeve. Well, I guess he has those glimmers and no energy outlet. Glint Sleeve is a fine choice.
I think that might be out of the sideboard.
Guaranteed.
Because game 1, you're not showing any small creatures, and then you bring in the threats after all the removal's gone.
It's definitely coming out of the sideboard. I like it. It's got Menace, too, which is real big.
And it's an empty board right now.
Not sure what that one is.
Yeah, can we get that one on the...
Oh, that's the rare Ghoul Gravecaller guy. Pay 2 black, exile a creature card, make like a zombie.
Jake, can you search for Ghoul Graveyard Guy?
Graveyard Marshal.
Costs 2 black, makes 2/2 zombies. It should be in the search tool.
Just type in all that stuff and it'll pop up.
Alright, so we got the Fairy Head in the battlefield.
Yeah,
Graveyard Marshal. Thank you very much, Vorbro and Jake. Alright, so exile a creature card from your graveyard. Right now he's only got 2, it looks like.
Yeah, 2 Mimics, but I'll turn those into zombies.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah.
So Fairy's going to bounce it, though.
Bouncing it.
And then we're going to see an attack for 2.
Yeah. Paul hitting his second energy. It's to draw a new card next turn.
If he wants to pay 1 life.
I mean, Anthony not threatening anything right now. Paying the life is fine. But I think it might have been an interesting choice, considering that zombie decks have traditionally been very aggressive. Willingly paying out life. Is that a Despise?
It's another hand disruption card.
He should have known about that one.
He should have, but Paul did do some cycling. Teferi did some bouncing, so not drawing, but... He didn't draw land, so he wasn't doing anything else.
It's not Despise.
Divest?
Yeah, Divest.
From left field.
Yeah, that's the one. It's a very creepy picture.
It's a cool picture.
The demon is opening up the dude's skull. Fairy? Is it a fairy? Maybe.
I like it.
It's a flitter sprite.
You know what my favorite weird art is? Or one of my
The
favorites.
Fallen?
No.
That art gave me nightmares the first time I saw it.
Memory Lapse.
That's a good one. The which one? The puzzles?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Mark Teaton version of Memory Lapse.
Did Rebecca ever get a card?
I don't know.
Something to find out. She's mentioned on a lot of the Ice Age blue magic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Okay.
She was the blue dwarf wizard in Homelands.
Okay.
See, you're asking me about a Homelands card. I'm going to get it eventually.
Memory Lapse is actually one of my favorite counter spells.
It was new. It was the first one that did that type of thing.
Yes.
And it was
Yes.
a lot of fun to play with. I used to play a lot of decks that cared about the top card.
Yeah.
Booby Trap, one of my favorite cards.
Booby Trap.
And so
It's a fun one.
I would Memory Lapse and then Booby Trap on my turn, and then boom, 10 damage. Or 6, I don't remember exactly.
It's 10.
I thought it was 10.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of deck I like to play. It had that, predicts, the Dimmer Guild Mage lets you know what's on top of the library.
So, Booby Trap is actually modern legal, I believe.
It is, but it's slow.
I still want to build
Which sounds weird for something that deals 10 damage.
Yeah, I kind of want to build a Booby Trap deck now.
They're great cards. Lots of fun. And you get to set booty traps. That's what I said. Setting booby traps.
It's a good movie.
Thank you.
I just watched it the other day.
Why wouldn't you, right?
Well, I bought it for $5 at
Oh, yeah?
Walmart.
It's a great movie.
By the way, if you ever have the opportunity, dig through those $5 movie bins at Walmart. A lot of good stuff in there.
They have very good stuff. Goodwill Salvation Army, also a great place to find stuff. I found a Cool House Rock videotape
Oh, wow.
for $1.
Nice. I'm sure you bought that.
Complete with I'm Just a Bill. That was the main one.
Conjunction Junction?
No, it was the American History one.
Oh, okay.
But you never know what you're going to find. And a lot of people getting rid of DVDs, there's all sorts of great old stuff there.
Yeah.
Salvation Army also has good stuff there.
I should probably go check that out.
If you do pick up DVDs there, make sure the disc is in there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shady people out there.
Yeah. Why are you going to rob from a charitable organization?
Right?
Well, not Salvation Army.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, sorry, not Goodwill. Salvation Army. Don't rob from Salvation Army.
Goodwill's profitable.
Yeah, their CEO makes so much money.
That's another story. It's an all-profit industry for him. Vraska's
Surprisingly,
Contempt getting countered.
Same with the Wounded Warrior Project.
There's good charities and bad charities.
Yeah,
that one I think started out good, and it
I was real. I mean,
eroded.
their CEO doesn't make a lot of money, but a lot of their funding goes to those signs and stickers and ribbons and.
Yep. Research your charities before you donate.
Yes. And then, if you don't want to research, Red Cross is always a good one. I mean, they do actually use the money for.
They do use money, yes.
Yeah.
Just research. Alright, so right now, Paul, again, he's got the value engine going. He's got Glint Sleeve Siphoner drawing card, Teferi drawing card.
Yeah, it's a good point. That Dread Wanderer should be exiled.
Yeah, Dread Wanderer's gone.
Torment,
that's gonna
expect it.
find a Gear Hulk counter.
Yeah.
Actually, no more counters in the graveyard that he can use for it. But I don't think Paul's gonna let it resolve.
I doubt it. I'd be surprised if he's willing to go to 2. Glimmer.
Glimmer. Gearhulk and a black spell. Put them both on bottom, draw 2. Land commit. So you can commit it.
So he turns it to the top of the library.
Beneath.
Oh, the second
Second
card
from the top.
Yeah.
Why can't they just say beneath the top cards?
They want to confuse.
It is so confusing how they word those.
So Paul, clutch draw there.
And that allows him to swing for lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed to find... Well, he didn't need to. He's at 20 life.
He was at 14.
Oh,
he could have taken the hit to
He was at 14.
2.
He could have taken it. And he had a land in hand, I believe. No, he had a Gearhulk and... I don't know. He had stuff to discard.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty big one.